Alrighty, I think we're safe to say that we're here, we're live. So happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to our live NoCodeOps community show. If you've been focusing on our series of events, we've been exploring the world of no code combining AI. And so we're here together for another exciting event with Jon Darbyshire from SmartSuite, CEO at SmartSuite. So we're very happy to have you here with us, Jon. You're going to be touching upon a very important topic for our community, which is documenting and building your own workflow using SmartSuite and AI. And so we're very excited to have you here. Jon, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe how you got into the whole world of no code and how you made SmartSuite such a successful tool? I quickly glanced at it, and to me, it just looks like the tool that rules them all. You know, it's amazing. I can't wait to see what you have to what you have to show us today.
All right. Thank you, Claudia. It's a pleasure to be here today. Yeah, I'll give you just a quick intro on my background so you kind of understand my perspective from a no-code point of view. I've been in no-code since 2000. I built my first product in the no-code space called Archer Technologies. It's still around today. It's a no-code platform that helps organizations manage governance, risk, and compliance inside of organizations. And our thought there was to build a product that allowed people to manage the 9 core processes around GRC, and knowing that each customer was a little different. And that company, we sold that company in 2010. It's went on to it's the #1 player kind of in the GRC space. So I've been around no code for quite some time. I then retired for a bit of time and had the chance to invest in quite a number of startups. And that's when the idea for SmartSuite began to happen, in that I would meet with a lot of founders and young companies, and we would spend as much time talking about workflows and processes in the business as we would about the idea that they were trying to bring to market. So the idea behind SmartSuite was that we wanted to bring together a platform that would help businesses and teams manage any workflow in their business on a single platform. Doesn't mean that you have to manage every workflow inside of SmartSuite, but you have that capability that's there. And we wanted to bring together the traditional project management types of features that you would find in some pretty good project management tools, and then more process relationship types of features that you would find in maybe like an Airtable, a ServiceNow, a Mindex, and kind of blend those together into one core platform. So that's the idea behind SmartSuite, is a single place to kind of manage any workflow in your business.
That's amazing. And, we were just chatting earlier on in our, our pre-conversation on, the importance of documentation and documenting your work, especially in a no-code space, which is something that people maybe are not necessarily used to. And so before we get into your presentation, what's your personal opinion about, documenting? Is documentation important in no code, and why do you think so?
Yeah, it's just like any other development process. It's very important to understand what you want the outcome to be of the process that you're building that's there. And inside of SmartSuite, we do a lot of that for you. So as you build things out, we capture information that helps you kind of understand what's been built in a way that you can go back and see changes to that. But it's also important to start up front with, at times, some design diagrams to just kind of understand who's involved in the process, what are the kind of the gates in the process, and what's the ultimate outcome that you have. And if it's a small process with 4 or 5 people, it's pretty simple. But if you're talking about processes that could affect 400 or 500 people in an organization, obviously it's a little more complex. But I'm happy to show some of that during the demo this morning.
I can't wait. And before we start, there's so many people in our audience today. I'm so excited. There's an overflow of messages in the chat going on right now. So just quickly, hello, everyone. I always make a point of saying this is an interactive event. It's a unique opportunity for you to connect with our experts here. And so please, throughout this whole presentation, if you do have any questions popping up, put them in the chat, and I will make sure that I'll ask Jon for you. And so, without further ado, let's get started. Let me pull your, should I get your screen?
Yes. Are you seeing my screen okay now?
Yes, all good. Good morning, Jon.
All right. Yeah. So this is the opening screen for SmartSuite when you first log in. Each user has their own, or has the ability to customize their own screen by picking colors and different items that kind of relate to them. They also have the ability to kind of set their own personal profiles on how they display themselves to other members on the team. And I'll show that briefly as well. So I'm going to spend about 5 to 7 minutes and just provide an overview of SmartSuite so you kind of understand the core capabilities. And then I'm going to spend the remainder of the time on 3 specific areas around artificial intelligence regarding content creation, the ability to gain insights from workflows that you already have in place, and then the ability to use AI to create new workflows. So 3 different concepts that are there. So I'll go through this part pretty quick, but Claudia or Rick, if there's questions that come up, since I'm going to go through so fast, please feel free to jump in and
no worries, no worries. I can see like there's so many people that know each other in the chat. It's like a friends reunion right now. So
right.
It's quite entertaining to see.
All right, so this is your opening screen when you first come in. These little tiles here are actually workflows. We call a workflow a solution inside of SmartSuite. So in this particular case, you can see these are all the workflows that are in my workspace that I have, think of inside of your business, that are being used. And I've taken certain of these and I've flagged them to kind of move them up into my favorites. It's where I've kind of created my own personal menu here. I'll click into Sales CRM just because it's so simple. And we have a really simple example here that I'm going to show to kind of get started, just to show the capabilities that are there. So I'm inside of the Sales CRM solution. It has 3 different apps that we call. Think of these as, from a database perspective, they're tables. So inside of a table, you have different fields of information that you're collecting. So for an account, this is the type of information that I want to collect. If I want to drill in and actually see the content in the record itself, here's all of those fields kind of organized more in a form. I have the ability, as I set things up, if I want to rearrange the information, I can just drag and drop the fields to the location that I want. You can build in sections like we've done here. You could have sections that are open or closed by default, depending upon the information that you want users to see when they first come in. You can do things like changing the style of the page. So maybe I wanted to see that in a single column. And maybe I want to see it in more of a 70-30 column format. So you have the ability to change the page design of the content, which is pretty typical. Different processes maybe fit different types of layouts to see the content that's here. I'll go back into what we call the grid view here. And if you wanted to add a new field of information to collect, it's as simple as clicking the plus icon. We have 44 different field types that you can pick from. I'm going to click down here on Explore All. That just kind of shows a menu of those fields. So the basics are all of the things you're probably most familiar with text and numbers and dates and selections, emails, phones, those types of things. We have more collaboration related fields where you can rate things, or you want different people to vote on content. You want to add tags. We have a special field to collect social media information for users. We have more project essential type things related to more around tasks, where you have things that you need to assign to people that have due dates with durations. You're tracking a status. Maybe you're actually entering time and they're tracking the time against that task as well. And then more advanced things where you can do formulas and lookups and add buttons and roll-ups and things. So the combination of all these fields is what makes things up. I'll go in and say, I just want to add a single select field. It's as simple as saying, what do you want to name it? And then I could add some values in here. As I add values, I can change the color selections for each value. And all of our field types have the ability to have different formats associated with them. So in this particular case, I could display this value with a color dot and a name, or I could change it to be just a solid background, or I could add an icon in front. And I won't go into this with every field, but each field has its own unique attributes that allows you to kind of customize that more to your own liking of what you would like to see. Inside, this right here is called a view. We're looking at a grid view that's set up. I have the ability to select the fields of information that's inside of accounts that I want to show in this particular view. So this is saying, here's all the fields that are available. Maybe I wanted to add comments associated with this. And now I want to move comments up to the top. And now it's showing me here that I have one one record that actually has a comment, and I'm going to click into this record again to kind of show you a few items on this. The first one is inside of the record itself, I can actually add comments to other people. So say I want to add a comment and I wanted to mention Tara, and I wanted to say something to her that I would like for her to do. This will notify her of that, or I could make it even a little more formal where I could say, hey, I actually want to assign this to her, and now this will show up as a work item in her My Work queue that's there. So the comment feature is meant for people inside of SmartSuite that you want to interact with. Think of it as a Slack channel that's specific to the record that you're working on. But you also have the ability to send email directly inside of this communication center. And here I can email anybody internal or external to the organization. I can also use templates and create templates that pull in data from the record itself directly into the template. Maybe I'm interacting with a customer that's here. And then when you send this email, it includes a copy here, but when the user responds back, the reply comes back in as well. So if you have customers that you're working with, you can have all your communications kind of in the context of the work that's being done, but it also goes to your inbox. So you kind of have the best of both worlds from that perspective.
That's amazing. I never had a closer look into SmartSuite, like from within. And so, yeah, this is fantastic. I'm hooked already.
All right, excellent. We also have a history log that shows every change to every field that's in this record over time. So you can go into each one and you can see, in this case, you can see Nate added some values that are here. But it also, if there was a prior value that was in here, it would show you what the prior value was and what the value was changed to. And we track this history depending on your plan type up to 3 years for you. So it's just an easy way for you to understand who's changing what that's inside of the record itself. From a view perspective, you can create cards and Kanbans, calendars, timelines, maps, charts, dashboards, forms, all different types of views of the information that's actually in here. I'll show you an example of a form view. So in this case, maybe you have set up a form and you want to send a form to customers to fill out information, or you want to embed this on your website. And every time that they fill out content inside of the form and hit submit, it will come directly back into your account and auto create a record here if you would like to do that. In this case, contacts. The only thing about contacts that I wanted to show is the linkage back to accounts. So we have a field type that's called a SmartDoc field type, or excuse me, a linked record field type that allows you to link back to other content. So in this particular case, this is actually linking to feedback. It's also linking back to the account Bloomjoy that's in here. And what's different about SmartSuite than some of the other products on the space is that I can link to content that's in any solution, not just in the solution that I'm in. So if I go into modify field settings and I want to link to something, I can pick any other solution that's in my account to pull the data in from, not just the CRM solution that I'm in today.
John, we do have a burning question from Phil. Hi, Phil. So he says, please tell me you can copy form links with one click from the form editor page.
You can, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So once you set up a form, you just click. I'll show you the same thing on share view. It's just right here. So if I have information that I have inside of SmartSuite, but I want to share some portion of this information externally, maybe to a client in a read-only state that's there, I can select the fields that are in this view, and then I can determine how much control they have over that, and I can even restrict it with the password that's here. But to copy that link, you just click here, like Phil was asking, and you can send it off to whoever you want.
That is so cool. I have so many questions populating in my mind, so I'm just gonna hold my horses. So just keep going.
I'll show you 3 or 4 more things before we kind of jump into the AI, just so you understand kind of the base concepts. I can click up here, and this is kind of the menu of options that I have to control basically this workflow, this solution. So under permissions, here I have the ability to determine who can actually see this particular workflow and interact with it. So at the simplest level, I could say anybody that has access in my account has access here. I could change it to say, I only want these specific teams, maybe the marketing team, to be able to see it. Or more traditional, I could come in and I could list people. So maybe I could pick Emma, and I can pick very specifically what I would want Emma to be able to have access to here. So we can control access to the solution itself, but we also control access all the way down to the record level. So I could say that Emma could edit certain records and not other records that are assigned to her. And those are based on this assigned to field type, and you can have as many of those as you want. So I could say that Emma could only see records that are assigned to her, or I could say she could only edit records or view records that are assigned to her, or she just has viewer rights across everything. She can't edit anything that's there. So we provide pretty in-depth levels of permissioning, and then you can go a step further, and then I can do field level permissions. So I can determine who can actually view a field. So maybe I don't want Emma to actually see this status field at all, and I could say that she doesn't have rights to do that. Or I could say she could view it, but not edit the field that's there. So you can get very specific or very granular on the permissions that you put in place. The next big item is automations. Automations allow you to perform work, inside of SmartSuite as certain things are happening. So I could say maybe each time a record is updated in this particular app, and I could add conditions to say what the update is, then I could take action on that. I could update records in other systems. I could add new records. I could send an email, but I could also take actions outside of SmartSuite. So I could send information maybe to a Slack channel. Maybe I want to send somebody a text message, send something to Microsoft Teams, put it on a Google Calendar, send it to HubSpot, Intercom, Jira, Salesforce. So the intent of automations is to allow you to very easily manipulate and automate workflows across different products or solutions inside of SmartSuite. That's there. I'll show you one last thing here that's pretty common. If I come up here to the top, I have kind of my toolbar. If I click on this item here, my work, what this does is it pulled up a list of all of the work that's been assigned to me along with the due date across any workflow that's in the system. And I can come in here each day and just see my assignments, either what are open or things that I've recently closed. And I can, if I want to go into this particular task, I can just click. It takes me right into the details of what's there. I could mark it as complete on my piece, or I could come over here if I did need to go in, and I could just mark it as, in this particular case, resolved to change the status that's there.
I'm sure you get this comparison a lot, but to me, this just looks like a super extra empowered Airtable. I don't get that as an insult. This is like amazing, and it doesn't happen that often to me that during these lives I get so hyped up about a tool before they even start talking about AI.
Yeah, what you're going to see that's different about SmartSuite is the combination of the project management and kind of the database relational side that you would see in a product like Airtable all together in one place. And then you're going to see quite a number of unique features that aren't available in either of those two. Like in the case of field types.
It's fantastic. It's so good.
And we have things that are built in like member directories. So each person on your team, as they come in, they have their own profile. So if I wanted to see Nate, this is showing me Nate's profile, and there's contact information. But then there's other built-in reports that just make it easy for me to collaborate with Nate or with other members on the team. The first one is the green dot is showing me that Nate is online right now. So if I want to contact him, I know that I could get a response that's there. If I'm in a larger organization, maybe I want to view people by department, so I can kind of get to know my team members. So we built in a lot of the reporting that's just super easy based on the user status that they come in. Time zones are pretty important with a lot of people working remote now, so you can kind of see where people are located, the time that it is currently in that location that's there. And a lot more on this side as well. But let's jump into some fun stuff from an AI perspective. And well, I'd tell you, first, let me just talk about marketing operations as kind of the example that I'm going to use for AI for some of the things that we're doing here. This is just one of our core templates. And I should have mentioned right at the beginning that When you want to add a new workflow in SmartSuite, you can come here and say, start with a template. We have 200 out-of-the-box templates across about 35 different categories of workflows. So if you're a marketing person, here are the types of marketing templates that we have available. Maybe you say you're a salesperson, and to use these templates, you just click use template, and in 3 seconds, we load this down into your workspace with sample data for you to give it a try that's there. So the marketing operations that I'm showing you is just our core template for marketing planning that allows marketing organizations to kind of track what are the goals or the plan for the particular quarter, what are the people and personas that we have as an organ, in regards to our product. So you can kind of drill in and everybody understands who you're trying to market to and kind of the why as you're creating content that's there. There's typically a content schedule like this that shows the content that's being produced, maybe different blogs and videos and newsletters and things kind of across that period of time. And this is where I'm going to spend some of the time. I'm going to look at kind of content by category that's in here. And I want to start kind of with the blog post, maybe drill into a record here. And here you can see SmartSuite, we have a field type that's called a Smart Doc. And that's what you're looking at here, which is, think of a Google Doc or a Notion or a Coda type capability built directly in as a field type. So I could have both really structured data with fields in combination of something that's more freeform that's here. And I have the ability to manipulate this, add headings, columns, all the things that you would kind of see in a Google Doc. I also have the ability to hit a / command and have some advanced options where I could actually add links to other docs or other records in SmartSuite. I can insert videos, images, attachments, code blocks, just a lot of interesting, fun kinds of things. For this example that we're going to use here, let's just do this. I'm just going to go to the bottom here, and I'm going to show you some examples of how you could use AI to actually generate content that you're creating inside of a marketing organization. And I have some examples here that I've already kind of created that I'm just going to cut and paste in here. So let's say I wanted to use AI. I could just tap my space key, and inside of SmartSuite, we provide an integration directly with ChatGPT, where you can start either asking questions or interacting directly, or you can pick from different topics and we'll kind of help you through. So in this case, I'm just going to say, can you create a numbered list of the top 10 companies and their revenues in the US? And we're just pulling that information directly back into the Smart Doc field type that's there. And okay, I can say, okay, I'm done with that. That looks pretty good. I could summarize this information, make changes to it, anything. It's just now editable inside of SmartSuite itself. I could do things maybe a little more sophisticated. Like in this case, I'm saying, hey, I want to create a job description for a copywriter that I want to hire. Can you help me just get started with that? Didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Help me get started with this job description. So I can just paste that in there, and AI will create that on the fly for me. What we're doing right now is we're working with customers and partners on the prompts and the quality of the content that comes back, so we can just get better and better with how to pass information that comes back that's meaningful, to you. And I could come into this content once it's written. I could highlight something, and I could click over here under AI, and I could say, can you explain this, generate action items, give me a short summary, or I could write up here that, hey, in qualifications, could you add something that shows that they need 3 to 5 years of experience inside of this description that's here. So really simple, a lot of job descriptions. It just makes things super easy to create content from that perspective. Give you one that's maybe a little more fun. So in this particular example, I'm saying, hey, can you create a product description for a new SmartSuite AI content generator that allows ChatGPT capabilities to be accessed? So basically what we're talking about today. So I'll hit space, I'll type this in, And it does a pretty good job of actually describing this with the limited information that I've been able to provide back. And I ask it to provide some actual examples of how this could be used inside of the SmartDoc field type. And it did its research and pulled this back. It's not always 100%, but it's pretty good. And it allows you to have a really good starting point for changes that you might want to make inside of there.
That's fantastic. It's, it's so good. Is it fairly a new feature that you guys implemented? I can see Barry Rose in the chat is like, wow, when did you integrate ChatGPT?
Yeah, I should have said this at the beginning, and I meant to. So we have not shared outside of this virtual meeting today with anybody what we've been doing inside with AI. This is the very first time we're announcing some of these capabilities are available to select customers starting later this week, actually starting on Monday next week.
Such an honor. Such an honor. I am so thrilled. Well, Jon, thank you. Thank you so much for choosing this event today to drop in your new releases. So cool.
Yeah, let me show you another one. Let's say that you had a series of data points that you just needed help analyzing, right? So I just typed in some product sales data that's here, and I could highlight this data. And I could go up here into ChatGPT. I'll just cut and paste in this question here that says, hey, I'm a data scientist. Can you help me understand this data that's here? And it will go through and analyze the content for you that's there. So that could be content you already have, or you can cut and paste out of a spreadsheet or something in, and you just need help in kind of understanding it before you're writing. And in this particular case, since I highlighted existing content, it says, okay, would you like to paste this information below? So I could say, yeah, just paste the summary below the content that's already there. And then I could continue to further ask questions about this if I wanted and parse it out. Maybe I want to see it based in bullet points as opposed to in a paragraph style. It can do all of that for me kind of on the fly. Here's one that we've had quite a number of customers asking about, which is I need to write some pretty specific content in regards to company policies. So here I just, I didn't mean to type that here again, sorry. Let me hit space, put it in the right one. So I'm saying, hey, I need to create a cybersecurity policy and I'm based in California. Can you just help me get started with that? And again, does a great job of just searching and helping you understand the components of a cybersecurity policy that you would need to have in place. And what's interesting is that maybe I don't understand everything that's inside of the content that was actually written here. So maybe I'm still writing. Let me let it finish here. So maybe I'm not familiar with what a firewall is, right? So we've built in things that are pretty simple where I could say, can you just explain that? So any context, any words that are inside of a document that you don't understand, you can do a single click and pull up the menu to get context on that that's there as well. And then you can insert that back in if you need the description as well. Just a couple more fun examples here.
I'm so intrigued. Your presentation is awesome, and our chat has never been so active for any of the events that we had. And so right now, Tara is teasing. She's like, oh, wait for the big finish. And so I'm looking like back and forth, like I don't know where to get more excited by.
Let me give you just one more, because I think you're probably understanding the content creation. There's just so many different things that are available inside of the SmartDoc field that's here. But let's just say that I need to write a strategy for a nonprofit organization looking to increase donations and awareness for its cause, right? This is something that takes some thought and some time typically, or you have to pay outside organizations, to help do this. What's great about, AI is that it can help you come up with that plan and that strategy of how other companies are solving this problem that helps you kind of get started with that. So this might not be your full strategy, but this is a great place to kind of get started that's there. And I'm going to throw in a couple typos kind of inside of here as well. And we built in context where I can just do the single click and I can come in and actually fix spelling and grammar inside. So this is great for just ensuring that your content is, spell checked and that you have correct grammar. But we went a step further as well in that we can help you rewrite that content with different tones that are there. So try to give you an example here. Like if I just wanted to change the tone of this, maybe improve the clarity or write it from a perspective of somebody in a particular location that's there, it will change that. Or I could say, translate to Spanish that's here. And you can auto-translate anything live kind of inside of the Smart Doc field as well. So lots of fun stuff on that side. But I'll stop there. I think you understand, just the power of creating content inside of what we call a Smart Doc field type. There's just hundreds and hundreds of use cases. I use this every day just in the performance of the work that I'm doing, rewriting things, making things clearer. Just a great tool from that perspective.
It's so powerful. I'm mind blown. It's like next level. Yeah, like Joel is saying in the chat, this is seriously next level. I agree.
So let me show you another experimental feature that we're playing with right now. This one has not been released to customers yet, but I want you to kind of understand the power that's here. So I'm just inside of a sales CRM. We have a SmartSuite AI Assistant that pops up, and I'm going to just say, I want to see total accounts by size that's here. Didn't run a report. I'm not doing anything. I'm just asking AI, look at the data and tell me, can you provide me with a listing of total accounts by size? And it says, yep, here we go. I've actually created a report for you that shows this information. I click on that. Here's the chart. It just created this on the fly for me in real time. I now have the ability to go in. I just changed the color. I didn't like the dark blue. I could change the chart type, different charts that are in here. Maybe I want to see a pie chart that's there. It just allows me very quickly to go create that. And it actually created this for me and put it in my private view. So now I have total accounts by size that are just there. Maybe under contacts, let's just say I want to see a list of contacts grouped by, list of contacts.
And I can see a very interesting question from Adam Lafaber. And so after you showcase this case, I'm going to ask it to you.
Okay. Yep. I'll just let this generate the report. So in this case, it's just looking through all the contacts that we have here and said, okay, create me a report that shows contacts grouped by department. And it just creates the report for me that's here. Where we're headed with this is that you'll be able to come into a particular workflow like a sales CRM and not only ask it to create something specific like this, but you could say, show me insights on this workflow. And it would create a dashboard on the fly and show you 7 or 8 different charts and help explain the content that you're actually seeing inside of the account. That's it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Claude, you said you had a question, or?
Yes. So question from Adam. Can we include the OpenAI call in any automations? For example, run a static prompt that pulls information from one or more, or I can see my logo is on top, from one or more of the columns, such as prompt could be write a location page with XYZ bullet points based on the location in a column.
That's exactly where we're headed. So We're not all the way to the automations yet, but we want to be able to use natural language inside of SmartSuite to ask it to do things. And we're smart enough to know what you want to set up. And one of those is obviously an automation. And maybe it's as simple as I need to sync these 4 fields with Salesforce. And can you create an automation for that and have it go ahead and do that for you and create that? For now, we're focused just on the data itself and kind of honing in on that particular piece so that we can, what we're teaching it is each of our 44 field types that we have and how that information can be displayed so that when you ask a question, excuse me, it can be smart enough to know the best way to display the data back based on the types of fields, maybe knowing that this is a values list versus an address versus a link, right, versus a person, those types of things.
Mm-hmm. This is fantastic. Yeah, I can't believe that you guys have just released like these AI features and you've worked so much onto so many different things and use cases. It's fantastic. It's amazing. Can people actually use them, or is it something that you're just announcing? Like you heard it first at NoCodeOps, and people will get to use them, further along the line?
Yeah, so starting next week, we'll be making some announcements on the content creation piece that I just showed you inside of the chat, and all paying customers will have access to that. Our payment starts at $10 per user per month to gain access to our system. So it's not a big lift if it's something that you find value, to be able to use.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Let me show you just the last one very quickly because I know we're getting close on our time, but
no, I could stay here all day. Something that I have very clear most of the people that are joining our stream today are coming from the NoCodeOps community, and I love that you guys are here. So happy to see you, but I can see a lot of new faces as well. And so one action item for me, as soon as we finish this event, is I'm going to dedicate a whole special role in our Discord server just for users at SmartSuite. I don't usually do that, without previous conversations, blah, blah, blah. But I am so in love with this tool that I just want to do that and offer that to my community. And so, yeah, please keep going. But just to let you know, you gained a new extra right. super fan of the tool.
Thank you, Claudia. We appreciate that. Appreciate it. So I showed you towards the beginning that when you wanted to create a new workflow, you could start with a template. You could also start from scratch and build out what you want. We're also playing with Ask AI to generate. So I could come in here and say, create automotive CRM with a service department. And I could ask it to go create this particular solution for me. So it's going and looking and just saying what's there. It takes about 2 minutes. So I'm going to click off. I've already done this, and I want to show you what that's going to look like. Sorry about that. I'm going to need to log back in here. 1 second.
It wouldn't be a live stream without a little troubleshooting every time.
Yeah. And let me go back into the demo account. All right, so here is the solution that it created. So it is showing that it created 3 different tables for customers, vehicles, and service departments that are here. And it then included the core content for each of those inside of the record. Now I could go in and, I could say I want to add a section to the top of this called general information. I can still manipulate, I seem to type this morning. There we go. I can still continue to customize what's been created that's there, but it's already creating the outline for me. And I won't show all of these right now, but you can go into and create any type of solution that you want. It typically takes 2 to 2.5 minutes for the content to come back. And yeah, here's the one that just finished. So you can kind of see the one that I typed in for the 2 minutes. In this case, had a little different description. So it included customers, vehicles, services, and service appointments, because I asked for the service piece that was there. So where we're headed as an organization is allowing you to pick any of our templates that you have as a starting point, but also being able to come in and do really unique things that we might not have templates for, and have a great starting point in just a couple of minutes for that particular workflow. And in most cases, you can ask it that, I want to see a best-in-class workflow for this type of thing, and then we'll be able to bring that back for you. And that's it. I know we're trying to.
That's fantastic. I'm just gonna, let's see if I have some sort of like super exciting reaction here. I mean, it's so good, so good. I'm so pumped to see the future of this tool. We have this conversation. We host these live events every Thursday, and so I've seen it all. I'm just gonna put myself out there, but I've never been so excited about a tool like I am this Thursday. And so you definitely, got me hooked like everyone else here. I can see lots of excitement in the chat. I'm just gonna open up the floor for our Q&A. So people, do you have any questions that you would like me to ask? And Jon is here for another couple of minutes. So make the most out of this time. This is your opportunity. And I know that I also invited Phil from NoCodeOps, our CEO, because he was so excited, just from following the event as well. And so I told him, just get on board, just join the stream with us. And so he'll probably join us towards the end. First, I'm going to do a quick Q&A. So do we have any questions in the chat? Let me see.
I'll just mention, as you're kind of looking at the conversations. There's a free 14-day trial.
Happened. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, no credit card required. And then next week we will be releasing the content piece that I just showed you with the AI, and we're happy to notify you when that's available.
Mm-hmm. Was that the question about the API key? Because I lost you for a second. We have a question about, do we need our own OpenAI API key?
So there's going to be two portions of that. So you get so many connections to OpenAI in a day, just with the free key. And then when you add your own key, that gets expanded. So we don't have that baked in just yet, but we'll probably have that in about a week, where you can then enter your own key that's there. And then things will be faster for you as well with your own key.
Perfect. Question from Joel. What inspired the cross-solution linking ability? I've never seen a software do this. That seriously blew my mind. Solves so many issues.
Yeah, that's something that we learned early on back in the days of Archer back in 2000, and that organizations wanted to have a single source of truth for data, but they needed that data to be shared with other departments. But the people that own the data are the ones that should be able to determine who can see it and interact with it. So that's what we've done at SmartSuite. So the person that creates, let's say, accounts, they can determine who has access to that and how it can be used, and then other people can just link to it. So you don't have to duplicate the data. So like if you're an Airtable person, you sync data. So you maybe have the same data in 4 or 5 different places. In SmartSuite, it's just in one place, and you're linking to it from any other solution.
Perfect. Let me see. I did have a question here in my form. What are the most successful workflows that you have seen? What types of integration do you offer with other no-code tools?
Yeah, so we've integrated directly with Zapier and Make and with Ply, which gives us access to about 5,000 other products that's there. So, and I can't tell you how many hundreds of thousands of customers that use those capabilities to move data in and out of SmartSuite to other products. We also have about 20 native integrations inside of SmartSuite with like Intercom and HubSpot and Salesforce and Google, Microsoft, Slack, the core integrations that we see people using the most. We'll continue to add more integrations to our capabilities to our automations, just kind of based on what's being most used by our customers that are there. And then as far as workflows go, it's really across the board. We have so many marketing type people coming in and kind of using our products. They find value very quickly, but it spreads through the organization once people begin to understand how they could use it kind of in their process. So software development, product management, sales, marketing, IT, governance, risk, and compliance. Those are all really hot topics or workflows inside of our customers right now. But we also have really fun customers that do every kind of workflow you can manage, from managing professional rugby teams to agencies that manage professional athletes, just across the board, doctors and lawyers and all kinds of service companies. So.
And I love the fact that you're just iterating, on top of what your customers are using, and it says a lot about the integrity of, SmartSuite as a company itself. I love that. I love that so much. Is there a way for me to differentiate whether I'm asking AI a question broadly or asking about my own data in SmartSuite? Question from Andrea.
Yeah, so when the content piece that I was showing you, that's all specific to really ChatGPT. So you're creating content, highlighting content inside of there, asking questions. When you're inside and asking it to create a report, like I was showing, like inside of a solution that's there, that content is specific to you. So we are actually passing information from the content that's there to ChatGPT, analyzing that, and then creating something based on that.
Mm-hmm. I did see a question that I'm also very interested in terms of how do we migrate to this tool. Let me see if I can find it in the chat. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so here from Akira. Has anyone done a migration to SmartSuite from an existing system? What is the suggested practice?
Yeah, we have an entire onboarding team that's what they focus on with customers. We find whether you're moving from a project management tool or relational database tool back to SmartSuite, we help you do that. And we have data imports, and we have different ways that make that simple. What's coming here in the next month, though, are some direct connectors to some of the other leading tools that are there. So let's say that you wanted to come from your existing tool. You can just highlight a few things. We'll use the API to pull the data and then auto create everything, all of the field structure and data inside of SmartSuite for you. So it takes something that could take a day down to maybe 15 or 20 minutes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. We're heading towards the end. And so I'm just going to work as an API here, just working with humans instead. And I'm just going to connect one awesome CEO with another awesome CEO. So I'm just going to pull you in, Phil. Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
Phil.
Hello. Good to see everyone. This has been amazing.
Phil, would you like to tell everyone who you are? I'm expecting people here know, but give us a little bit, give us a little piece of you. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do and why you're so pumped to be here today.
Yeah, so Jon and Claudia got together in SmartSuite and used GPT to generate me. So here I am. This is how far technology has come. No, but hey, y'all. My name is Phil. I'm the co-founder and CEO of NoCodeOps. So jazzed to be here. I've been working with no-code tools for a super long time, everywhere, at multiple companies, mainly in operations, and to see a product like this that not only takes into mind, because process and project management are very different things, and to do them in the same platform is not an easy feat, and to do them well. So cool to see how SmartSuite's kind of re-envisioned that. And I know I've done both, and I've done both separately in different platforms. So to see that can be done in one place is incredible. And yeah, we started all of this because this community, because of all the folks working in different operational units like marketing ops, sales ops, people ops, who, were using no-code tools like SmartSuite to not necessarily build MVPs and indie SaaS and all that stuff, which I think is incredible and needed. But all of the operational folks who are the entrepreneurs of the world, building this stuff inside of companies, you're the go-to MacGyver person for your whole non-technical department. You're the person people go to when they want to cut around the devs, right? So this is, just really excited to be here. And Jon, just big thumbs up and congrats. I know how hard it is to build software, and this was mind-blowing.
Oh, excellent. We have some amazing engineers on our team that have been working diligently to make this happen, and both a combination of internal and external engineering teams that we pulled together. We use some expert leadership from a third party to help us craft some of this. So if you are looking for or needing help in that particular area, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll share more information about one of the agencies that we use for that.
Awesome.
Phil,
go ahead, John.
Phil, I was just saying that I'm just going to give SmartSuite a massive spot in our community, because I was geeking out with some of the people in the audience already. And I was like, hey, let's do this more, So 100%. I'm just going to give you guys a good spotlight in there.
Excellent. So, we appreciate that.
I love it. And John, I have one question for you. And then I have, just like you dropped a fun announcement, I have a fun announcement about SmartSuite and NoCodeOps that I can make with you at the end as well. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Just dropping all the goodies. So question. So, I have, no secret that, I've used Airtable for a long time. I love it, right? There's, things about it like that form thing that killed me that I'm so happy you guys have solved already. But on a broader question, and I'm wondering if SmartSuite solves this or how it approaches this. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. So one thing that I've seen, have you heard of Folk.app? It's like a CRM tool.
I have not.
It's really cool. So basically what Folk said is look, CRMs are so opinionated and so off the shelf that they become hard to customize. And, tools like, Airtable are so generalized that you don't get all of the opinionated things that you would get in a CRM software. So how do you kind of meet those two things in the middle? So what it does is it kind of looks like an Airtable, but it's got opinionated features like deduping contact, syncing with your Gmail, right? That you would find in a traditional CRM, so that you can have the flexibility of making your own software and look at it like a spreadsheet and have all of the different views that you need for pipeline and all that stuff. But it's got some of those just off the shelf things that really make it easy to not have to build everything from scratch. I'm curious,
right.
Do y'all have features like that help someone make a CRM within SmartSuite where you can dedupe a contact and, sync with Gmail and all of that type of stuff?
We do. So we have a number of features now, but we've got a big bunch of features coming in that particular area. Our goal is really to take project management, more process relational management and point solutions that you love across these different categories, bring them into one core platform to do exactly what you just said, Phil, and that we don't want this to feel like it's something just that's 100% custom. You have to build it every time. If you want a CRM, we want to give you a great CRM to start with. And if you're a marketing person, give you a great marketing solution, and how those two kind of connect together that's there. So where we're headed as a company is continuing to offer features like we're just showing today in AI that are going to be more specific to different types of workflows that just make it super easy for you to come in and get started. But yeah, I'll check out Folk.app. I'm not familiar with them, but there's a lot of point solutions that are coming up in the market that are just phenomenal. The last 3 years, there's been so many great products coming out. The problem that we feel has happened is that organizations need to have 6 to 8 of those different tools to kind of people do their job, and they're all great tools, but they don't connect to each other. They don't talk. And when you onboard people, you have to train them on 6, 8 different tools. When you offboard them, you've got data in different places. So the value prop of SmartSuite, of where we want to be, is that one place to onboard, one place to offboard, everything's permissioned, all the data is still there. It's not that big hassle that it's been in the past. So
I'm very excited for that future. And the other one I would look at is, I think it's Adio, ATTIO. But Adio and Folk have been the two, they've pushed the envelope, I think, the furthest in terms of an opinionated spreadsheet style interface for CRM that man, if y'all had some of those features, it would just make my, incredible. But talk more. And so on that front, in terms of how NoCodeOps uses SmartSuite and the beginning of this relationship, I am so jazzed to announce that the SmartSuite team, including Jon, are not only sponsoring as a headline sponsor for the NoCodeOps conference, but they are going to be there. So Jon is keynote speaking. So if you want to meet Jon, if you want to jam with SmartSuite in person, if you want to grab a coffee with us, NoCodeOps conference, make sure you're on the sign up list. It's nocodeopsconf.com. Claudia, thank you for the link. Tickets go on sale in the next few weeks. We are super jazzed and just so incredibly pumped to work with SmartSuite and just spreading the word about no code and no code being used for operational folks. And yeah, Jon, anything you want to add there?
Yeah, I'd say, can you tell everybody the dates so they can kind of think about timing up as well?
Yep. So September 13th through 15th here in Atlanta, we'll have both in person for 3 days and a virtual option as well for folks that can't attend in person. Yeah, it's going to be at an amazing property here in Atlanta, the Lowe's Midtown Hotel in Atlanta. So super beautiful, walkable area. The hotel and the conference venue are all going to be in the same place. So yeah, just maximum no code time. September 13th through 15th here in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think SmartSuite, as a team, we're excited to be there, have the chance to meet a lot of our customers and partners in person, spend a couple of days with them. But it's going to be a couple of days of just talking no code in general about every kind of topic, all kinds of great presenters that they've already got lined up that are there. We'll have breakout sessions for SmartSuite with kind of how to do particular things. One of those will probably be around AI and what we've learned just in the last, from now till then, from that perspective on how customers are using that to work smarter. But it's a great event. It's something that's been needed for quite some time to just bring the no-code community together from an operations perspective and just talk about how they get work done. So,
thank you so much for mentioning that community word, because if you're a community person like me, it's a unique opportunity to just come and hang out. You know how amazing things get when we get all together, just like we had a small meetup in Atlanta back in a couple months ago. And so this is just a huge opportunity to make that, little power get even bigger. And so I can't wait to meet all the people from our community and all the new people that will join us. So yeah, it's a great event.
Amazing. And Claudia and Jon, thanks so much for this event. This was so informative. Jen and I have been sitting here in the office just being like, we're so excited about SmartSuite.
Excellent.
Jen's right here. We're like, yeah.
Hi, Jen. Awesome. We're going to have to change all our CRM again.
The conversation has started.
Well said, Phil. Jon, thank you so much for taking the time, to be here with us today and just share your experience and expertise and just, how amazing the tool that you've created is, but most importantly, like you as a person, like you're trying to empower so many operators out there. And we all know that that's what we're all here for. And so thank you so much for being here and for being such an amazing person. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you very soon in September.
All right. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate you hosting us. Thank you.
All right. And to everyone here in the chat, I will see you in our Discord. So if you haven't joined yet, join the community. I'm always there. And so that will help me organize more of these events. All right. See you soon. Bye, everyone. Take care.
All right.
See y'all.